You know things are messy when a billionaire beauty mogul isn't scared of another influencer or another A-list actress. She's scared of her boyfriend's first love. Because what if I told you that while everyone online is arguing about whether Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet have secretly broken up, the internet is quietly obsessed with another storyline, the idea that Timmy's heart still belongs to Madonna's daughter Lourdes Leon, the girl he went to high school with, the girl he's actually called his first real relationship, and that no matter how many red carpets Kylie and Timmy walk together, some fans are convinced that one text from Lourdes could blow everything up. Before we dive into that rabbit hole, do me a tiny favor and tap like on this video real quick. It takes you less time than Kylie takes to refresh her lip liner, and it tells the algorithm, yes, I do want more chaotic celebrity love triangle analysis in my life. All right, let's talk about why people think Kylie Jenner is at a breaking point and whether she actually should be worried about Timothee's first love.
When dating rumors first hit in spring 2023, most people treated Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet like a joke. This was right after Kylie split from Travis Scott, the father of her two kids, and suddenly there were reports that she was spending time with the indie movie boy who cries in Italian orchards and eats peaches in prestige films. At first, it sounded like one of those fake fan edits that accidentally became real life, but by September 2023, they weren't just a rumor anymore. Kylie was spotted at Beyoncé's Renaissance tour, literally making out with Timmy in the VIP section. Then they showed up at the US Open together, looking like the most unlikely courtside couple on earth, king of the film kids and queen of lip kits. In 2024 and 2025, they kept this weird dance going. She'd quietly show up to support him at film festivals and award shows like the Golden Globes, and he'd pop up next to her at baseball games or sneaking off private jets. They rarely posted each other. They weren't doing couple TikToks or soft launch photo dumps, and that
Every time they disappeared for a few months because he was filming, and she was back in Los Angeles running a billion-dollar brand and raising two kids, the same headlines would pop back up. They've broken up. It fizzled out. He dumped her. And then, right when those rumors reached a peak, they'd casually reappear at something huge and look totally fine. Most recently, breakup rumors got so loud that even legit outlets had to address them. People were talking about how Timothee was missing family events, how Kylie was allegedly putting in all the effort, how his schedule was pulling them apart. Then, multiple sources came out and said, no, they're still together, still really in love, still making time to see each other even while he's filming overseas. And just to shut everybody up for a minute, they stepped onto the Marty Supreme premiere red carpet in Los Angeles wearing matching neon orange leather, holding hands, arms around each other like, hi, yes, we're still here. If that wasn't a coordinated, we are very much not broken up message, I don't know what is.
So, from the outside, they're still a couple. They spent Thanksgiving together with the Kardashian-Jenner family. Kris Jenner is literally posting outfits supporting Timmy's movie. Their PR looks fine. But that's not the story the internet cares about. Because in the background, another name keeps coming up. Lourdes Leon, Timmy's first love, Madonna's daughter. The girl who knew him before the Oscars, before Dune, before Kylie, before all of this. And that's where things get interesting.
If you only know Lourdes as Madonna's daughter, you're missing half the picture. Lourdes Leon is a model, a dancer, and a musician. She's walked for Gypsy Sport at New York Fashion Week, done campaigns with brands like Marc Jacobs and Stella McCartney, and posed for magazine covers that don't even need her mom's name in the caption anymore. She's also made music under the name Lola Hall, releasing tracks like Spelling as her own little homage to her mom's legacy, while still carving out her own weird, artsy lane. She has that downtown New York energy, nightlife, performance art, club videos, chaotic interviews where she's both very serious and clearly trolling. In a Vanity Fair profile a few years back, she talked about fame and privilege in a way that actually surprised people. She basically said, I know there's undeniable privilege here. I'd be stupid not to see it. Nepo maybes are pretty awful usually, and my parents raised me to be smarter than that. I'm paraphrasing, but the whole vibe was, I know I got a head start, but I still want to feel like I deserve things. And somewhere in that same chapter of her life story is Timothée Chalamet.
They met as teenagers at LaGuardia High School, a performing arts school in New York that's basically a nepo baby playground and a talent factory at the same time. Actors, dancers, singers, half the yearbook probably has famous last names. In that Vanity Fair era, Lourdes called Timmy her first boyfriend. She said she respected him a lot and described them as a little item. Again, she didn't spill every detail, but she made it clear. This wasn't just a crush. This was an actual, formative relationship, the kind you look back on years later and still remember as your first real love. There were even old reports about Madonna being the strict mom who finally let Lourdes go on supervised dates with Timothée when they were about 16 or 17. Security supposedly hovering somewhere nearby while they ate barbecue. That's not tabloid, they met at a party once energy. That's our parents know each other, they know we're dating, this is a real thing.
Later, when Timothée was promoting Call Me By Your Name, he got asked about Lourdes in interviews, and you can literally see him get awkward and smiley and dodge the "how long did you two date" questions. It has the exact vibe of someone who knows those memories are real and doesn't want to feed the gossip machine. So when we say first love, we're not just talking about some random girl he DM'd once. We're talking about a relationship that was important enough for both of them to acknowledge publicly, years later, even when they didn't have to. And that's exactly why the internet thinks Kylie is nervous. Here's the thing. You don't have to be a billionaire to understand this fear. Most people have at least one first love they never completely forget. Maybe you don't want them back. Maybe you've totally moved on. But if they texted you, "Hey, I'm in your city," your heart would still do that tiny, disgusting flip. That's just how brains work. Now, imagine that your boyfriend's first love is not some random person from the neighborhood, but Madonna's daughter, a woman who grew up famous, who understands the pressure of tabloids, who moves in the same circles as you, and who clearly still talks about him with respect. You can see why Kylie might be side-eyeing that a little bit. Online, fans are split. Some people drag Kylie and say things like, "If you're this worried about your man, he's not your man." Others openly admit, "Listen, if my boyfriend's ex was Lourdes Leon, I'd be camped outside his iCloud like the FBI." Then there's Timmy himself and his type. If you look at his dating history, a pattern starts to appear. And the internet noticed it fast. You've got Lourdes Leon, daughter of Madonna, Lily Rose Depp, daughter of Johnny Depp and Vanessa Paradis, then the rumored fling with Isaac Gonzalez, and now Kylie Jenner, the youngest of the Kardashian-Jenner dynasty and a billionaire reality TV nepo baby. People joke that he collects nepo babies like Pokemon cards. And honestly, if you put those names on a whiteboard, it does start to look like a very specific deck he's building. So when you mix a boyfriend whose type seems to be powerful, famous, connected women, a high school first love who literally is Madonna's daughter, and a current girlfriend who already lives in the most intense PR machine on the planet, you get exactly the kind of situation where fans start to build their own stories. And we're not even at the messiest part yet.
Before we go into the blind items and private jet conspiracies, if you're still watching right now, clearly your attention span is stronger than Timothée's ability to stay off a private plane. Hit like if you haven't already. Consider it your ticket to the rest of the tea. Let's talk about the two things that follow Kylie Jenner everywhere: lip liners and private jets. Kylie has already been dragged online for years over her jet use, from quick 10-minute flights to big tropical getaways. And once she started dating Timothée, that criticism didn't just disappear, it doubled. There were posts about the two of them allegedly flying off to places like Puerto Rico together on her jet, with fans calling out the carbon footprint, the optics, and the overall rich people do whatever they want energy. Now add this, the celebrity blind item world, which is basically anonymous gossip blogs and forums, has been running with a recurring character they call the meme actor. In more than one blind, this meme actor is allegedly dating a reality star, enjoying her private jet and lifestyle, and sticking around because the perks are too good to give up. A lot of readers believe that's Timothée and Kylie.
To be clear, these are anonymous submissions. They are not confirmed. They're not sworn testimony. They are gossip. But the internet loves gossip more than it loves oxygen, so those blinds spread fast. Some versions of the rumor go even further, claiming that Kylie pays for everything, that he would be taking commercial flights without her, that he's basically the pretty boy who landed in the billionaire's lap and decided, yeah, I can live with this. Around the same time, you also get content creators pushing the narrative that Kylie is holding on tighter than he is, that he's allegedly trying to step back, and that she's terrified of losing him, especially to someone like Lourdes, who knew him way before fame. There are videos with titles like, "Will he leave Kylie for his high school sweetheart?" And "Is he secretly still in love with Madonna's daughter?" The thumbnails practically draw the triangle for you. Again, no one has produced a selfie of Timothée and Lourdes making out last week. There is no official statement that they've reconnected romantically. What we do have is old, real history, current, internet-fueled speculation, and a fandom that doesn't know how to separate those things anymore. And sitting right in the middle of that storm is Kylie Jenner.
Kylie's love life has never been private. She grew up on reality TV. Her relationship with Travis Scott played out in front of cameras, interviews, Instagram posts, and paparazzi lenses. They were on again, off again for years, had 2 children together, Stormy and Air, and then eventually split again, turning into co-parents who still have to navigate birthdays, holidays, and the occasional headline. By the time Timothée entered the picture, Kylie wasn't just someone's girlfriend. She was a global brand, a mom of 2, and a woman whose every move gets turned into a TikTok conspiracy. So when fans see her with Timmy and then hear rumors that he's distant, that he's busy filming in Europe, that he's not as available as she wants him to be, they immediately project every insecurity they've ever had onto her. There was a viral comment floating around with a message like, "If you have to worry about your man to this extent that you feel deeply insecure, he's not your man. Work on the relationship with yourself before you try to force the wrong puzzle piece into that space." And honestly, that's not bad advice for anyone.
Kylie, as a brand, has to pretend she's unbothered, always confident, always in control, always serving looks. But Kylie, as a person, is dealing with an ex she still has to see all the time, a new boyfriend whose job takes him away for months, and an internet that constantly tells her she's either too clingy or not clingy enough. Add the idea that his first love still exists out there, famous, cool, artsy, and unbothered, and you can see how that would dig into anybody's self-esteem, no matter how rich they are.
On Timothy's side, none of this looks easy either. He's not just some guy with a flexible schedule and work-from-home Fridays. His job means entire months in different countries, long hours on set, press tours, festivals, and red carpets. He's jumped from Dune to other big projects, and now Marty Supreme is the latest one people are watching. According to sources close to him, he actually describes Kylie very fondly on set. People have claimed he talks about her with a lot of appreciation, and that they make an effort to see each other as much as possible, whether that's her flying out to him or him slipping back into LA between shoots. They're reportedly on FaceTime a lot, doing long distance in a very modern, very Wi-Fi and private jet way. Those same reports say that despite the rumors, he is still with Kylie and they are doing the relationship for real, not just for the cameras. And that red carpet moment at the Marty Supreme premiere with the coordinated orange outfits, the matching leather, and the comfortable PDA felt like their way of saying, relax. If we were done,
You'd know.
There's also the fact that Timothée has always been weird about public relationships. With Lily Rose Depp, for example, he got caught in yacht photos once and later said he was embarrassed because it felt like a staged moment, even though it wasn't. He's never been the guy posting couple selfies every day, and he's clearly allergic to the idea of being seen as some clout-chasing boyfriend. So the same behavior that looks like he doesn't claim Kylie to some fans can also look like he hates turning his love life into content, if you know his pattern. And in that gap between what he feels and what we see, the speculation grows.
So let's circle back to Lourdes. Right now, there is no solid public proof that Timothée and Lourdes are romantically back together or secretly talking behind Kylie's back. What we do have is their confirmed past as first love high school sweethearts, her own words saying she respects him and that he was her first boyfriend, and a lot of fan-made theories that they might still have feelings for each other. Meanwhile, Lourdes has her own life. She's modeling, releasing music, doing chaotic interviews in Spain where people ask her if she likes Shakira, and generally living that artsy downtown life. She's spoken about wanting to stand on her own 2 feet, not just as Madonna's daughter, but as a whole human being who can fund her own education, make her own creative decisions, and even, allegedly, leave college because the frat boys were too basic.
There's also this little thread of her being very protective of her mom. There's a story about her nearly fighting someone in a club after they disrespected Madonna. She did clarify she doesn't condone violence, but she definitely doesn't condone you talking trash about her mother either. So, is Lourdes sitting in a dark room somewhere plotting to steal Timmy from Kylie? Probably not. But can we understand why Kylie, and especially Kylie's fans, might feel like she's this invisible threat hovering over the relationship? Absolutely. Because Lagos, London, Los Angeles, it doesn't matter where you live. The idea of your partner having a first love they've openly called their first boyfriend-girlfriend will always sting just a tiny bit. Now make that first love a famous nepo baby who moves in the same circles, with the same stylists, the same parties, the same front rows, and suddenly the threat doesn't feel so hypothetical anymore.
At the end of the day, here is what we actually know. Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet are still together as of now. They've shown up at big events, walked red carpets hand in hand, and spent holidays together. Lourdes Leon and Timothée genuinely dated in high school. She has called him her first boyfriend and spoken about him respectfully in multiple interviews. There is no hard evidence of a current affair or secret reunions between Timmy and Lourdes. Just fan theories, edited TikToks, and blind items that are clearly labeled as gossip, not fact. So why does this triangle feel so intense?
Because it hits every nerve the internet loves. First love versus current partner. Nepo baby discourse. Is he using her for clout or jets theories? And that classic fear we all have of being replaced by someone from our partner's past. For Kylie, this probably isn't just about Lourdes. It's about her long on-off history with Travis, the pressure of being in a hyper-public relationship again, and the reality that Timothée's career will always demand pieces of him she can't control.
For Timothée, it's about trying to build a serious career while the internet turns his dating life into a meme, balancing the perks and the pressure of dating into the Kardashian universe, and living with the fact that his first love will always be half myth, half memory in the eyes of fans. And for Lourdes, she's barely even in this conversation unless the internet drags her name into it. She's busy working, performing, and doing the most chaotic interviews you've ever seen. So the question becomes, is Kylie really at a breaking point? Or is the internet projecting its own fear of the ex who never fully disappears? You tell me.
If you made it all the way to the end of this breakdown, first of all, you deserve a private jet made entirely out of lip gloss. Second, drop a like on this video so YouTube knows this wasn't a waste of 20 minutes of your life. It helps more than you think. And if you want more deep dives into relationships like this, where first loves, nepo babies, private jets, and PR all crash into each other, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. That way, you won't have to stalk anyone's Finsta. I'll just bring the tea straight to you. Let me know in the comments, if you were Kylie, would you be worried about Lourdes, or would you trust Timmy completely? I'll be reading everything.